Hey, hi all, good evening. So nice to see participants, my students from different batches. So today I have invited Bhumika Sharma to share her interview experience. The special thing is she's from non-IT background. She has done her BSc in botany, and from there she has worked for 4 years in operations and a little bit in IT, but for the non-IT background, like someone who has done BSc in botany, like life sciences, and then cracking an interview as a business analyst, okay, for organizations such as Oracle. So that really means that is really appreciable, okay, especially someone who's from non-IT background, okay. So that is why I have invited her to share her interview experience and her preparation strategy, okay. So, Bhumika, I'll be asking few questions and you give your reply. Okay. So the first question is very few candidates, very few participants who are from non-IT background, they dare it to do a transition into IT industry because there's many folks they think that okay, IT industry is something very complicated or it's a programming, so maybe I cannot do it. So how you thought of doing this transition from non-IT to IT? So can you tell your mindset that what triggers this that okay you should also jump into the IT industry?
Oh, sure. So I hope my voice
Your
is
voice
audible
is too
to you.
low, Bhumika. Sorry, I'm not able
Can
to
you
hear.
hear me now?
What about others, guys? Can you hear?
It is
Mm,
low, Tanvir.
Low, low.
Bhumika, it is low for you as well. Can you please check the
Um,
audio?
are you able to hear me clearly now?
We can hear you, but the voice is very low. Either it seems like you are speaking from very. The mic is not closer. So can you check it, or if you want, you can connect your mic again.
What about now?
Still, it's not clear. Still, it's not clear.
I hope it's clear now.
Yeah, it's better, little bit better. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yes, so I'll just brief a little bit about me. So my name is Bhumika, and I have close to 4 years of experience. I started off with operations after my graduation, and then 1 year into operations, and that's when like lockdown happened, and I got time to upskill myself, and that's when I thought of moving to business intelligence field like data visualization. I started off with learning Tableau on my own using some courses from Udemy or some online material. And in my existing organization where I was working at that point of time, so they were happy, and they like offered me a role there itself, that if you want to do this, then maybe we can transition you into this particular role, which was for business operations analyst, wherein they had like operations work but mixed with Tableau itself. So that's when I started learning. That's where my learning journey began. I started off with Tableau, and started like preparing visualizations on Tableau, doing practice, and that's where the journey started in around 2020.
Okay, thanks, Monica. So, to many folks who have connected me, okay, about that roadmap. So the same thing I have communicated you, okay. Especially to the non-IT folks, what I suggest is, uh, first of all, plan to land a job in IT industry. Okay, don't only target that. Okay, I have to grab a job data analyst only, data engineer only. Okay, whatever job you are getting. Okay, maybe as an ETL tester, database tester, even in operations, even in support, grab that job. Okay, so you will get a sense that okay, now I have something in my pocket. That will not frustrate you. because similar roadmap I have suggested to one of my folks who was a BCom graduate. Okay, I told him that okay, you learn this, but and then go as a tester or whatever job you are getting. So he joined a company like Cognizant as a tester. Okay, and then after that, slowly, like each and every company, we have that internal job posting, right? So the
Yes.
companies, they will roll out a lot of job openings. Like suppose if you're working as a tester, if you want to switch as a business analyst, or if you're working as a business analyst, if you want to switch as a data analyst, you can do that. For that, they will take some interview, but that interview will not be that much tough. Okay.
Yes.
So similar thing, I think Bhumika is also telling, like she was working in operations, but because she has enriched her skills in Tableau, that is in business intelligence, and from that she got this roadmap and she joined the business analyst. Okay, these are the few roadmaps which very few participants they know, but these are the shortcuts which even I have recommended to many of my participants that you should do this. Okay, so net, so we keep a intention, keep a roadmap that first of all, I have to grab any job in IT industry just to get a ticket to the IT industry. Okay. Then keep on upskilling yourself. Fine. And then in your company, if you have any internal job opening, apply to that, work on that particular at least for 1 or 2 years, then you will get good exposure even of the technology landscape and the project in which you are working. You will understand the in and out of the project, the technical aspect, the functional aspect, and then after that, apply to any other company. Okay, then by this you will get some good package as well. So
Yes.
hope it is clear to everyone. You understood this roadmap. This is very important.
Yes, Tanvir.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, Bhumika, now like, can you tell me then how was the transition? How you applied in Oracle and you grabbed that offer letter of business analyst? That how you prepared your resume? Can you explain that part?
Sure. So I have been working with JLL for around 1.4 years as a business intelligence specialist only. And recently only I started like looking out for a change. So the way I like prepared my resume is that I did see a lot of websites like, you have to have an ATS friendly resume so that your profile gets shortlisted easier. So I did that. I got it done. And then I started applying on Naukri and as well as LinkedIn. And from Naukri only, I saw that Oracle was hiring for business analyst, and there itself I applied. It took like around 1 to 2 weeks for the HR to get back to me, but yeah, that's how I applied.
Okay, thanks, Bhumika. So, see, Bhumika has told about that business intelligence. So maybe this might be a fancy word for many of you. Business intelligence is nothing but at a high level, it's a role related to the reporting part. Okay, either you're working as a Power BI developer, or you're working as an Alteryx, or you're working in a Tableau, or you're working on OBI side. So any job profile which is related to reporting aspects, okay, purely reporting aspects. So that comes under the bucket of business intelligence. The name is business intelligence because you are providing intelligence to the business folks by sharing the useful data, the meaningful data. So from that meaningful data, they will frame the business policies, right? They will create new rules and regulations. They will make new business strategy. So that's why the name is business intelligence. But a data analyst doesn't come under the bucket of business intelligence. That's a gray area. But if someone will ask me, so data analyst doesn't come under the bucket of business intelligence. But yes, I agree. Many of the business and data analysts, they work in the area of business intelligence as well. But business intelligence is purely the reporting aspect. Okay, and this is a very soft area for someone who is from non-IT background. You can grab a job easily. Not easily, it means like you have to work, but this is a good area that you can target to get a job. The reason is It doesn't needs very expertise in the coding side. Okay, if you're good in presentation, if your communication is good, if you know some basics of SQL, and if you know how to report and all those things, then you can grab a job in the business engineer. So that's why if someone who's from non-IT background, if they approach me and if they will ask for the roadmap, I will suggest them that go for the business analyst role, or like the Power BI developer, or the Tableau developer. Okay, because it doesn't need a very strong expertise in the coding. Okay, then the second thing which Bhumika mentioned about ATS. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Like nowadays, what happens in each and every company, like in most of the companies, they have an automated system which will scan your resume, and based on that, they will either select you or reject you. Now, how they scan your resume? You might have seen that when a HR will approach you, so they will share the JD, job description, right? So in the job description, they will mention all the skill sets what they're looking for. So the ATS platform, it will check the job skills or the skill sets, what is mentioned in the JD, whether those skill sets are present in your resume or not. So if you guys remember long back, I think 3-4 months back, when I have taken a session on the resume building, I have told you the same thing, that you must prepare separate resume based on the job description. Okay, suppose if you are working as a data analyst, so maybe that particular data analyst resume will not fit for any other company. So whenever an HR is approaching you, ask them that, okay, can you please share the JD's job description? In that they will mention the skill sets what they're looking for. Then modify your resume as per the JD. Okay, I'm not telling that entirely change it. Just check in the JD what all they have mentioned, pick out some keywords, and just copy and paste those keywords, fit it somewhere in your resume. Because nowadays it is going in like an automated tracking system. So the boards are there, they will either reject you or they will accept you. Hope it is clear. Any questions so far from the participants, either to me or to Bhumika?
Tanvir, I have one question. So, Peter
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah,
usually I wanted to understand one thing, like uh, I usually work as a BI developer only, but I wanted to understand then what is the exact role of data analyst and how different are these two roles. And if you want to, I'm not saying like both roles are having their own importance, but if you want to rate which role will be having more impact or more like more good compared with both of them, like.
okay. So Abhijit is asking like the difference between a Power BI developer, right, and a data analyst, right,
Yes,
Abhijit?
right. Right.
Okay.
And what is the, I'm not comparing, again, I'm telling, I don't want to compare,
Yeah,
but
that
every
is
job
fine.
is a
Like,
job, I believe, and nothing has to be, even you're doing a generator is always, it's a work, like, I don't believe in comparison, but what are the job are more important and which aspect will have more demand in future, like I wanted to understand, and what is the exact role of data analyst, because as a BI developer, I know, like I have been working in Tableau for more than 3 years, and I have been your batchmate from June only. So, but I wanted to understand like more about data analyst and what is the difference between both, and aspect wise, which is more greater and which will have more demand in future. So that is my
okay,
question.
sure. Sure. So not only you, Peter, like I think many participants will be having this question. So first of all, let's try to understand about a BI developer, okay, the business intelligence developer, okay. So for this, I will tell you few technical aspects, okay. I will not go in detail. At a high level, I will explain. But if you think it is not clear, this is for everyone. Please pitch in and ask, okay. So for any ETL project, okay, one of the main intention of any ETL project in a company is to create some good reports, because through the reports, the big shot guys in your company, your CEO, your CTO, your senior director, your CFO, they will understand how the company is performing. Okay, even when you're attending the town hall of your company, you will see that the CEO, they are sharing some numbers that, okay, in this quarter, this was the revenue. The revenue has increased or decreased by this much percentage. This is the number of total employees we have. Okay, this much number of new clients we have added in this quarter, right? So you all know, like, they are sharing this number in the town hall. Or maybe if you will read the newspapers or the companies when they're publishing their results, they will share all these numbers, right? So how these numbers are coming in any ETL project, generally you have three layers. The first is the staging layer, then you have integration layer, then you have access layer. Access layer is the final layer, which has a very good quality of data and the final data. Okay. Now the BI developer task starts from here. They will connect their business intelligence platform, which may be your Power BI, Tableau, Ultrix, or OBI, any platform. They will connect that to the access layer, and whatever data is there in the access layer, based on the business requirement, they will show that those numbers on the report, and they will tell to the business stakeholders that, sir, you asked for this numbers or this report. This is the final report. First of all, is this clear? You understood what is the task of a BI developer?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Even you might have seen in many movies, in old movies means during 2000 and 2010, in a few of the movies, you might see that when they will show you about the office environment, then there'll be someone who's well dressed, and they'll be showing some graphs, some bar charts and all those things, right? So that is nothing but your report. Okay, that will give you a health check of the system. So that is the task of a BI developer, to show the company progress on the report. Hope this part is clear. Okay.
Yes, Sandeep.
Now, coming to the responsibility of data analyst. Data analyst is a new job profile. New job profile means it is in existence for the last 4 to 5 years. Before that, it was not in much news. Okay, I don't want to go in detail that why it was not there, why suddenly this data analyst came into picture, because we will deviate from the topic. Okay, data analyst task is, suppose I am working as a data analyst. Okay, Tanvir is working as a data analyst. So how my day will start? I will work very closely with the client or the stakeholders. Okay, they will send me an email. Suppose they send me an email at 10 a.m. in the morning. That will send me the profit of the business in UK in the Q1 of 2020. Okay, then quickly I have to write a query, and I have to get some number, and I will share that number quickly. It's not necessary that that must be in a report format. I can share that in Excel sheet or any other format. Okay, then maybe after 1 hour, the same client or the other client, they can ask me that, okay, then will show me that how many new clients we have added in this current quarter. Then again, I have to write a query, and I have to share new data with new information. Okay. Then again, some other client will call me or send me an email that, Tanvir, can you show me this data? I want to understand that how many clients we have lost, okay, or how many big deals we have lost, right? So this is the task of a data analyst. Now you guys tell me, which task is more data centric, which is more dynamic?
I believe
Data
data.
analyst.
Data analyst. That's why the name is data analyst. He is the one who is very close to data, and that's why you have to be very smart in SQL. Like, quickly you have to write query and you have to share data to the client. Why? Take an example of like Diwali season. Okay, so I think just in 3-4 months, 3-4-5 months, we'll be having Diwali. Now take the example of Amazon or Flipkart. How quickly they change, they keep on changing the offers based on the market demand, right? So that's why nowadays everyone, the companies, they want to understand the progress of the company very quickly, within minutes, within hours. They cannot wait. And earlier, what used to happen, a BI developer, suppose you have told that, okay, I want a quarter percentage increase or decrease in profit, or the liabilities or the assets or the new funds, what we have added. So that will be static. The new requirement will come in a new sprint. Then again, BI developer will code it, and they will send that to the client. So at a very high level, this is the difference between BI developer and data analyst. First of all, is this difference clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. BI developer role needs very strong expertise on any business intelligence tool like Power BI, Tableau, Alteryx, or OBI. But again, don't think that, oh, I'm very smart. I'm getting some background noise. I'll mute everyone. So again, please don't think that, oh, I'm very smart in Power BI, so I will stay in IT industry for a long time. No, never ever trust any tool. I remember I started my career with a tool which is known as UAL, Unified Access Layer. Now I think many of you don't know about that, right? It is totally decommissioned from the market. Then you started working on OBI, then Alteryx, then Tableau, then Power BI. I've seen this era when the tool, they hardly survive for 2 to 3 years, and then a new tool will come because market is very competitive, right? So for a BI developer, you must be having good expertise in the tool, no doubt. But at the same time, you should be strong in SQL. I will not tell very strong, but you should be strong in SQL. And you should know basics of ETL. I'm not telling you should go and learn data pipeline. You should know the core coding skills. No, at least you should know the basics of ETL, like how the data is moving. Okay. But for data analyst, you have to be very, very, very strong in which language? Any guess?
Well,
Python.
SQL.
SQL
No,
and Python.
SQL and Python both, but more SQL.
Right.
SQL is the bread and butter. If you're giving interview and you have cracked the interview of SQL, and in Python, just you have answered 20 to 30% question, they will hire you. Okay. So SQL is very important. They will never compromise on SQL. So that's why in data analyst SQL, and then if you know SQL plus Python, and if you know any reporting tool, that is well and good. That will give you an edge. Okay, and then advanced Excel. Okay, never underestimate Excel. It's still a very powerful tool. Those who have worked on it, they know it. Okay, so hope I answered your question, Peter.
Yes, Tanvir. Thank you so much. I got very clear answer. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So over to Bhumika. So Bhumika, now can you tell us?
Tanvir, one question.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
When you say advanced Excel, what all topics exactly you want to mention? Like the VBA or like?
No. VBA are the old days. Don't go for VBA. Okay. Earlier, when we don't have that much fancy dashboards, when we don't have this advanced the business intelligence tool like Power BI and all those things, then we go for VBA. It will automate everything and all those things. So now there's no need to go for VBA. Advanced Excel means you should know how to work with the data, how to modify the data there, how to apply the transformation logics there, how to apply calculations there. So all these things I'm telling you. Means net you should use Excel to do some basic data analysis. Okay, so that is what I'm doing advanced Excel, not VBA. I'm telling.
Like Tanvir, we can add on like Power Queries and everything in Excel.
Oh, yeah. That as well.
Okay.
Hope I answered your question, Akhil.
Yes, Tanvir. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good, no problem. So moving. Naveen, yeah.
Yeah, sir. May I know what are the skills required for a business analyst and for to be successful?
Business analyst earlier in the sense before 2015, it was like a bed of roses. Okay, because if you know the functional thing, how a company works, okay, the finance term, if you know, okay, like suppose what is a fund, what is the difference between fund manager, portfolio manager, how is stock exchange operates, okay, like what is the commitment amount, what is the realization amount, what is unrealized amount. Okay, so if you know these things, so the company will hire you as a business analyst. But nowadays, the scenario has changed. They're looking for techno-functional, right? Techno-functional means you should know the functional aspect. Functional aspect means how the company is working. Okay, what are the main sectors in which they have business? Okay, and then you should also know the technical things like how the data is going from one layer to another layer, why we need multiple layers, where you're applying the transformation logics, what are the business logics you're using in your project, what is star schema, what is snowflake schema. So you should know the basics. Okay. In my previous session, actually, I have told why the companies nowadays are looking for technical guy as a business analyst. Because earlier what happened, I will tell you the scenario in my project. So in my project, there was a business analyst, okay, and they work very closely with the clients, right? Now, if there is something, if there is some issue with the numbers or the reports, so they will connect with the business analyst and they will tell them that, okay, this number is not correct. Number is not correct, maybe the profit number or the asset number is not correct. Then the business analyst will route that mail to the developers that, okay, please check why this number is not correct, okay? Because the business analyst doesn't know that how the numbers were derived, what are the business logic they have implemented. Now, suppose on a particular day, the developer is very occupied. If he is on leave, then what will happen? The business analyst will wait for 1 or 2 days, right? And the client, they again have to enter, the client has to wait. That's where slowly company has changed the format that even the business analyst should know the technical things. Means if there is something issue with the number on the report, he should be able to at least find the root cause. That's when nowadays it is required that a business analyst should be techno-functional. He or she should also know the basics of ETL. He should know the basics of SQL. Okay. But if someone is from non-IT background, I will recommend you can go for business analyst as well, because this is such a skill which doesn't needs very strong expertise in coding or the programming languages. Okay, if you're good in presentation, if your communication is good, if you know the basics of finance or any domain, so you can get a good job. Because I have many examples, many of my students has grabbed the job with this technique. Okay, hope I answered, Naveen.
Yes, sir.
Answer. Okay.
So I'm really sorry to interrupt you. Since the thing is that I started my career in sales. So for the past 3 years, I worked in sales, but right now for the past 2 years, I'm working in MIS. So if I have to get into this, either if we say business analyst or we say data analyst. So if I have learned SQL, Python, and I have the experience with the Excel. I have a good experience with Excel, and I'm learning this SQL and this Python. So, are these two things will be sufficient for me to enter in this industry?
See, I will tell you the real scenario, because I have told you earlier as well. I have a recruitment team of many companies. Okay, the companies in which I have worked so far, the recruitment team and the education and research team. Okay. Actually, currently, there is a scarcity. You will not trust it, but listen to this. There is a scarcity of good data analysts and good data engineers. The reason is, before 2015, most of the IT folks, you know which language they were learning and they were working on? Any guess, any idea?
Java.
Java, .NET, and C, COBOL, and all those things, because you were living in an era where there were not much data, very few data were there. We hardly used to work on 1 million records. But after 2014 or 15, when there was a bombarding of the data because of the social media sites, because of the e-commerce platform, now these sources are generating a lot of data. So now the companies are thinking, oh, we need resources who can process the data, who can analyze this data. So that is why suddenly the demand for data engineers, data analysts came into picture, right? So that's why this field has not matured. And that's why the companies, they are telling that, okay, if someone is good in SQL or strong in SQL, let's hire them. Other skills, we will train them. And that's the reason that they are inviting non-technical background, that okay, you can, if you're able to crack the interview, come, we will hire you. That is the reason. Before 2015, I think hardly you will see BCom, BSc, or BCA graduates, they will enter into the IT industry. But now the scenario has changed, because the companies they're looking, there's a scarcity of good data analysts and the data engineers. That's the reason. So I will request you all, and this will stay for the next 1 or 2 years only. golden opportunity. Okay, don't think that market is slow and all this. This all are noises, guys. Okay, so a lot of opportunities are there. Work on SQL, be strong in it. You will be having a lot of opportunities. So this data analyst will be in the market for the next at least 2 to 3 years for sure. But after that, because nowadays many folks are there who are learning this, so now then the market will be full of data analysts, data engineers, and then maybe the scenario might change. Okay, so I think Dishant, you were asking that you are in the sales team, so that is good. Now the skill sets on which you're working, if you're strong in SQL, so surely go for data analyst, but don't be rigid that I have to go for data analyst only. Even if you're getting the job of business analyst, go for it, and then keep on trying for data analyst as well. Okay, but this is a very interesting and high paying job. Okay, if you will crack the interview, okay, the HR will be ready to give you. I will give you my example. I will not tell the exact number, but when I had given an interview recently, okay, I was working as a consultant with one of the firm in US, in the finance world. So they have taken the interview, and the interview was good. That was based on SQL only. So they are given some number. I told that no, I want this number only, and all fixed, no variable. Okay, and that was little bit beyond their budget. But still, when your interview is strong, okay, the company don't want to lose you. So that is what I want. Don't only think of cracking the interview. Think that no, I have to crack the interview with flying colors, so that whatever number you're asking, whatever number means the possible numbers, okay, the realistic numbers, the company will be ready to pay you. Like yesterday, before yesterday, I have messaged you. I have shared the news of Sai, right? Sai Teja Kasarla, right? A very good offer. I cannot tell you the number, but that is very good number. Okay, he got just 6 years of experience. I remember just I think 1.5 or 2 months back, he connected with me and little bit frustrated that I'm not having job and all this blah. When I heard the news yesterday, I was very happy that okay, he has cracked it. So guys, net, I'm telling you, a lot of job opportunities are there. When we take interview, our senior director used to tell us that Tanvir, don't check all these things. If you think the guy is strong in SQL, hire him. The reporting tool, we will train him. Python, we will train him. Just check the logic and the soft skill. If they're good at that, go ahead and hire them. So there's a lot of opportunities are there in the market. Go ahead for that, guys. Okay, yeah. Dishant.
One more thing, I'm really sorry for this. Actually, what happened, like I tried for different, like I was searching for the job, switching in this industry. So I even you can say applied for sales analyst. That was like, yeah, inside sales analyst. So I just give a try. Let's just go ahead and give it a try because it has like SQL, and they were asking only for the SQL. So when the HR called me and she asked like, "What's your experience?" So I manipulated that and just tell her that yes, I was working into the sales and all, and right now I'm working in MIS, and I'm also like have a very average command on SQL. So she was like, okay, you do not have that total experience in like you only have experience in sales and all. So okay, we cannot hire you. So we cannot hire you. We cannot go further with that. So my question is that if the person like me who do not have any technical background or do not know any stuff like this, but if HR is asking like, do you know these things from like, do you have experience, 3 years experience or 5 years experience? Though we are not into the technical ground. So is it possible for us? How we can just tell it to HR like, yeah, go ahead and take my interview at least, give me a chance, or just take my interview, or ask me any question, because right now the HR are very rigid. They don't even listen to me. I don't know why, if it's me or what. So they just ask me, how much experience you have? I say 5 years. They're like, do you know these things? I'll say yes, but when they see my resume, they're like, it's only sales and MIS. So then some goes further, some don't go further. So that's
you should make your resume like that, because your resume should reflect what is required in their job. Okay, you can say, suppose see, I started my career as a business analyst. Okay, and then I switched into Java. Okay, so what I did, that I understood the business, and from there I got an understanding of project, and I used to say that I have worked on this project and I know the in and out of the project. I used to explain them the project. Okay. So nobody is going to ask you to write the complete code of the project, but at least you should have understanding, and you should let the other person know that, yeah, I have worked the project on the project and and I'm able to explain the flow of the project. Okay. Nobody is going to question you in the in and outs of the project, but at least this should reflect in your resume. If there is if the things are not reflecting in resume, then obviously you won't be good, so you won't be shortlisted. Okay.
Sure. I will definitely go ahead and try this.
Yeah, because see, I started with business analyst, then I switched to Java, and now I'm working as a data engineer. Okay, so I switched 3 roles. So yeah, you have to work hard. That's it. And get command over the technology, make some good projects, update your GitHub profile. You can add that in LinkedIn, write some blogs. That way you can show your presence.
So definitely I'll go and try this. Thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing, Amit. So what Amit has told is correct. And during 2015, Amit, right? So I and you were working in the same company, right? So yes, so I think Amit was working as a business analyst, then you had transitioned to Java. So that's a very good example in front of you guys. And why I'm telling with full confidence, because I and Amit was working in the same company at that time. I think during 2016, I think, right? Amit, am I correct? 16 or 17.
Yes, you are right. I was in Fidelity from 2014 to 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was there in 2016 till 20, I think. Yes. So yeah. So guys, like the question what Dishant has asked. Okay. So earlier as well, I have answered this, and in that session, I faced few escalations. I have told in the group as well, because in this group we have many HR, many talent acquisition specialists are there, few delivery managers are there. I know them. So what happened, I will tell you. I told all those story that hiring process is a politics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, because I am there in that process, I know. Okay, and then it was recorded and a lot of things happens after that. Okay, but just a minute. Okay, so I will tell you at a high level. Okay, listen very carefully. And even in the previous session, I have told this. Really, hiring process is a politics, is a very big politics. Okay. One thing is, even if you're working as a sales or you're working in operations, even if you're selling credit card, I'm telling you the last thing, you're selling credit card. Don't tell to the HR that you're working in sales, you're working in operations, you're working as a support specialist. First of all, is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear to everyone? Okay. Don't ever tell them, don't mention this in your resume, because neither your HR nor your manager is going to check with your previous manager that in which task Mr. ABC was working. Now the question is, then what we should write there, Tanvi? See, listen. In each and every company, each and every project, there is someone who is playing with data. You agree or not? Even your local departmental store, go there. They have a small laptop or a small machine is there in which they're scanning the article or the item, whatever you're purchasing. And at the back end, that machine is doing some data analysis. You agree? Right? So even if you're working in sales or operations, tell them that you're working there as an analyst. If you're working in sales, so what you're working there, your team must be handling some sales data, like in what all regions your product is there. Okay, how much new product you have launched, how many new customers you have, how many customers you have retained, how much profit the new department has generated. So you tell them that I was in the sales department, but my task was to do the analysis. Is this clear now? So you were in sales, but you're working as a data analyst there. Because in many companies, it happens that you'll be working as your role will be like a manager, but you're working as a developer. Okay. Your role will be like as a consultant, but you're working as a tester. So it is not necessary that your role always corresponds to the task what you're doing. Is this clear? So same thing I told to one of the lady, like I think she has not joined today. She was from the civil background. Okay, she told me that I have an interview for the data analyst. What should I tell them? Because I have worked in civil, and that was pure civil. I have never worked on data and all those things. I told her that okay, you're working in civil now. Tell them that my company was constructing buildings and all those things. So my job was to maintain database that how many buildings they have constructed, how many floors are there, how many area they have given for lease. Okay, when the lease of a particular area will lapse, when they will renew it, how much income they have on, how it has increased, and how many new areas they have to build, they have to start constructing, they have to grab land and all those things. So in whatever sector you are working, show in such a way that you're working there as a data analyst. If you will tell them that no, I was working as a sales team, or I was working something in operations, I'm working as a customer care, any other thing, so that's all. The story is over. They will not entertain you further. Hope this is clear to everyone. Is this clear? Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now for that, how you will tell, if you remember when I was taking the classes, your SQL classes, so I used to tell, like suppose if you remember, I taught you about minus operator, right? At that time, I'm giving you example that in the project where this is used, the data is in source, you have to check all the data has moved to target or not. Okay, like this, the few examples of the project, whatever I have told, you can quote those examples. Okay. So like this, the interviewer will think that, oh, this guy has worked. That is why, if still you have not gone through the recording of the project examples, because I remember many of the examples have given you the example of project that this happened in my project, this keyword is used in this scenario in this project, this is example. You can quote those examples. Then your interviewer will trust that, oh, if this guy knows the in-depth of this SQL keyword, it means for sure he has worked in a data analyst project. So like this, anyone like Dishant or anyone, you have to project yourself. And I think the same thing Amir has told you. Is that clear? Okay. So now I will ask Bhumika. Okay, so Bhumika, like the last, can you share your interview experience, like what all questions they asked, how many rounds of interview they have taken, how many technical rounds were there, how many HR rounds was there?
Sure. So I'll just so there were 4 rounds in total, out of which one round was a technical round and more like a techno functional round, and then a second round which was a case study round. And there was a third round, which was with their VP of operations. It was also, it was a managerial round. And then the fourth round was an HR discussion. So in the first round, majorly questions were asked on Tableau and SQL. And I'll just share a few questions that were asked. So on Tableau side, there were questions about the filters that you can apply in Tableau and their order of execution, like which one takes precedence. And then there were a few practical questions on LOD. I'm not sure if everybody knows, but yeah, a level of detail. It's a concept in Tableau, and what are the types of LODs? And they gave like a scenario, and then I had to inform them what could be the calculated field that I can use. And then there were one question was there on row level security, which is how you can, protect your data from people who you don't want them to see. And then there was one question on dashboard performance, like how we can optimize that, what is the things that we can do versus what should we not do. And these were the only questions on Tableau. And questions on SQL, they were mostly concept based, but 2 questions were there in which I had to write the code. And those were, first question was like, find nth highest value. And they said that, you can like take any table, like form any table of your own, and then just let us know the third highest value, or like any nth highest value. And then there were 2 tables that they gave with some number of rows were there in both of the tables. And then they wanted to understand what is the output of different types of joins. Like they asked me to tell the output of inner, left, right, and then full join. And then there was one question on SQL, what is the order of execution? And then what was the difference between having and where? And then there was one question like, are cross join and self join same? And I'm informing you that these are the similar kind of questions I have faced in other companies as well. Like they'll give you some table with some data, and then they'll want you to tell the output of different types of joins. They would give you like how to find the nth highest value and what is the difference between rank, dense rank, and row number. These are some kind of questions that I have faced in a lot of other interviews that I've given as well. And then coming to the second round of interview, it was a case study. They asked me to download a data set from Google and then prepare a presentation on it. So in this one, I was free to use any tool I wanted to. If I wanted to visualize it in Tableau, I could do that as well. And that's what I did. I visualized the data using Tableau and then prepared a presentation on it, like what are my findings, what are my key takeaways from the data. And since it was a marketing data set, what are the, let's say there were some areas wherein the campaigns were not performing well. So I had to then inform them of like, what are the improvements that we can do as well. And then the third round was with their operations VP. This was more of a managerial round. They asked, I had the option to ask about my role, the technologies that I could use at Oracle, and then there was discussion about the role and growth opportunities. So it was more of a managerial round. And then the last one was HR discussion, like salary and why you want to join Oracle, salary negotiation. So these are like the total number of rounds that I had.
Okay, thanks, Bhumika. So, guys, over to you. Like the questions what Bhumika told about the SQL. Anything just have we covered in our course? Yes or no?
Yes, Anup.
Yes,
all the questions are covered.
Yes.
I believe.
All the questions we have covered. Nth highest. Difference between cross join, self join. Difference between rank and dense rank. Why we need having when we have where, right? So all the questions where we have covered in our course. Why I'm reiterating this? Blindly go through the recordings. Blindly and religiously work on all the assignments. If you have completed the assignments, not think the same question, all can I solve is in 2 or 3 methods. You might have noticed whenever I post question or whenever I solve any question on LinkedIn, I will give 2, 3, 4 solutions, right? So if you have worked on my assignments, then go through my LinkedIn questions. That is more than enough. Don't get distracted of solving questions from many platforms. Today, again, one guy posted one question that this was as an interview. Those questions were from my assignments only. Exactly. Okay. So why I'm telling, work on my assignments, go through the recordings. That will be more than enough for you guys. Okay. So at the last, Bhumika, like what is your suggestion, Bhumika, especially for those who are from non-IT background? Okay, because sometimes they are a bit dicey that okay, whether my decision to get in IT industry is correct or not. So what you will suggest them, how they should prepare?
I think you'll have to pick where you want to go. Like if you want to go towards like a business intelligence side or like a reporting side, then you can like pick any BI tool. It's not very difficult to learn. You can prepare your own portfolio. So say Power BI, you can keep preparing projects on it, like keep preparing reports on it and then publish it to your public account, and that'll make a good portfolio so that you can actually show that you have worked on this. Same goes for Tableau. Tableau has a Tableau public wherein you can get data from any of the data sources available online and then prepare visualizations on it and then publish it. So this will like give a proof that, you know, you have worked on it and you can easily work on it in the future as well. And then apart from that, rather than mentioning, I also never mentioned that, you know, I used to work in operations. Whatever experience I had, I just had a stronghold on the skills that I have. And then I just showed it that, you know, I can do this. And once you clear the interview, then you will be able to do it if you have a good foundation and like good skills.
Okay, so thanks, Bhumika. Over to the participants. If you have any question, you can please ask.
Hi, Bhumika.
Hi.
Hi, Bhumika, like through which platform did you apply? Like, I just want how my resume can get shortlisted first.
So I applied for this role via Naukri. There was a posting on Naukri itself. So that's where I applied.
Okay, and like other companies also, you were frequently using Naukri only or any other platform also?
Mostly Naukri. Sometimes I do via LinkedIn, but at least I do not get a response. Many people get, but I don't get like a lot of response. But I'm using Naukri religiously. Okay. You have to like apply daily, update your profile daily, and that should do it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Hi, Bhumika.
Hello. Hi.
First of all, very well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm also from non-IT background. I'm from commerce background. So I can see company hires experienced candidates. So what would you suggest?
So see, I got like when I started off, I also didn't have any experience, but then I got like the option in my company itself. What you can do is that you can, you know, learn SQL and learn Tableau, and then write a few of those points in your resume as well. That, you know, you are working on this particular project. Maybe you're not working in real, but then if you know the skills and if you know everything, then you can also practice outside, right? And then you can mention it. So when I started off, I was in operations, but then when I left that job, I was also like preparing dashboards. So the whole experience that I showed, it was like, then, you know, I started off with operations, but then I started preparing reports and dashboards on Tableau using different data sources such as SQL, Excel. And that's how you'll be able to get it. You'll have to, you know, mention it in your resume itself.
All right. Thank you very much.
So I want to highlight that apart from Oracle, I think, Bhumika, you have offer letters from other companies as well, right?
Yes, a few of them are in pipeline itself. I had an offer from ITC Infotech, which was also on the same questions.
Maybe I'm not able to hear you. Okay, so any other question, guys, from anyone?
In your hi, Bhumika. Congratulations first for the offer. How did you shape your resume when it comes to business analyst role? Like, is it kind of a generic resume which you prepared, or like it's like a more of a business intelligence role when it comes to the, you know, for sharing the resume part?
So my resume was generic because when I read the job description, it was somewhat what I was already doing. So yeah, it did include like requirement gathering from different stakeholders, but that's what I was doing as a business intelligence specialist as well. So I kept my resume the same way because the job description was almost similar.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
But I do change it whenever, like, you know, I feel that the skill set is aligning with what I have, but you know, the keywords that they're mentioning somewhat different. So I sometimes I do tweak my resume a little bit to apply for a particular job.
Yeah, got you. Thank you.
Hi, Bhumika.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please, I would like to know which visualization tool should one learn? Is it Power BI or Tableau as a business intelligence analyst? Thank you.
So I am using Tableau, and I would suggest either of the two. Both of them are in demand, but right now I believe Power BI is in a greater demand. So yeah, you can go with Power BI as well, because it's like a Microsoft based tool. So I would say that you would have ease navigating it. So I think you can try Power BI or Tableau. Any one of them works.
Okay. Please, during your interview session, were you tested on the use of Power BI or strictly Tableau?
So I have like strictly used Tableau only.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any last question from anyone? We're almost on time.
So Tanvir, I have one question for you basically. So as you know that ChatGPT is taking over, I just wanted to understand, like, will it affect the data analyst or business analyst role, and like, what is the impact of that, like on a job role or anything? I wanted to just understand that. That is my last question.
Yeah, I have a session on LinkedIn, okay, on the same topic. So I will share the invite with you guys as well. But these all are noises. Don't go with this, okay? Similar thing happens when the computer started ruling us. We thought that all the jobs would be lost, but you see the consequences that has given birth to a lot of new job opportunities. So ChatGPT is not going to replace anyone, but I will suggest you guys, like ChatGPT, many other AI tool will come into the market down the line, because many companies, many countries, they're working on it. Okay. So try to understand how it works, ChatGPT, the algorithm. Okay. Try to use it, try to understand it, but it will not replace anyone. But yes, it will refine the job. Okay. So don't worry, don't get afraid of it. It is not going to eat any job. I will share the details when I will take the session on LinkedIn. Even yesterday, day before yesterday, Mr. Narayan Murthy, you know, like it's a founder of Infosys, right? He told the same thing. He told the same thing, that human brain is very flexible. No one can compete with, because you have the natural intelligence. So how artificial intelligence can beat a natural intelligence, right? So keep on upskilling. This all are just noises. For the last 15 years, I'm hearing that the testing job will be over, but ETL testing and many other automation testing, API testing, performance testing, load testing is growing day by day, right? This example is in front of you. So don't think it is going to eat your job. Never, because it has its own limitations. Okay, the companies cannot trust in it. You see what happens with the Samsung, right? They were using that ChatGPT, and by mistake, the companies and what they can say, they have used the ChatGPT and they have shared their company internal data, and that was spread everywhere, right? What happened with the Microsoft when they have posted the client information on cloud, that was leaked. So each and every artificial intelligence of the platform, they have their pros and cons, but they're not going to eat your job. Yes, you have to understand it. Keep on upskilling. That is what I will tell you. These all are mere noises. They are distractions. Don't get distracted with all these things. Okay, hope it is clear.
Tanvir, one last question.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Tanvir.
Yeah. So, my question is to both Tanvir and Bhumika. So what is happening with me? Like I haven't even started applying, but what I feel when I do SQL, so I always feel like it's not enough. It's not enough. I should know this also, this also, this also. And because of this, I'm just not applying. Like, how do I get over this? Like, for example, from Bhumika, I got a little confidence that they're asking like basic questions only. But still, I always feel that, okay, I should know this also. When I open like LinkedIn or some different type of questions, difficult questions are there. And the moment I read the company's name, like the question is from Google or LinkedIn or so and so and so. So I get like, okay, ye to mujhse hoga hi nahi. So how do I get over this ki jitna hai, utna limited I should practice?
I think, Shubhi, it's it will never be enough. Even I joined like Tanveer September's batch. I even see questions on LinkedIn and I'm like, nahi, ye mujhse nahi hoga. But it will never be enough. You know, even technology, it will keep updating itself. So you have to, you know, keep practicing. And that's what I did. When I started off with Tanveer's course, I started practicing at the same time as well. Sometimes I was not able to keep up with the, all the assignment questions, but I still tried. And you have to, you know, you should start applying. If you think that, you're good with the questions that I shared, they were asked in Oracle, and I'm telling you, similar kind of questions were asked in other companies as well. I've given like ITC Infotech, HCL, I've given Wipro, I've given MX as well. Most of the questions were almost the same. So if you'll keep thinking that, right now it's not the time and ye mujhse nahi hoga, then to fir बहुत wait करना पड़ेगा आपको. You should start applying right now. If you think that it's enough, then you should start applying. You only need to crack like one company or two companies.
Yeah.
Right. There are like a lot of jobs available.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. And I will tell to everyone, like even you think that I know a lot of SQL, but trust me, even when I try sometime, I get stuck in question because no one can tell that I know everything about any programming language. Many times I learn new thing when I teach you. Okay, there is no end actually. So if you think that okay, now you know something good in SQL, keep on start applying, because even if you're failing, okay, so you will learn something from that. You will get to know that okay, where I have to work, which one is the weakest link, right? So start applying. Should we have it?
Okay. Thank you.
Fine then, guys, I think I will stop here, and this session 7 to 8 will continue. So next week, I have invited Sai Teja, so he will be sharing his interview experience, and then subsequently the next week maybe I will take session on some conceptual aspects of SQL or whatever you will suggest, guys. Okay, so thank you everyone, especially Bhumika. Thanks a lot for your precious time, and we wish you all the very best. And to everyone who are trying their level best to grab a job, all the very best, guys. Don't worry about the failures. Keep on trying. Okay, there are a lot of job opportunities. Trust me. Don't go with all this news that the market is floating, the volatile, and all this blah blah blah. These all are noises. Okay, keep on working, and the SQL is the game changer. So work on it. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.